These are a few of my favorite things. Run, write, riff. Merging fitness, personal creativity, and your ultimate passion. Key parts for a happy and a healthy life. Hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification to be a part of this community. Leave a comment on your fitness, your personal creativity, and on your passions. We want to hear from you. This is about living a full life. Body, mind, spirit. Run, write, riff. So, how did it really happen? How did a rather stoic kid, just 10 years of age, go from being a pretty good second baseman to a stellar professional guitarist, touring by the age of 19? We covered age 10 to 12, the golden riff that changed his path. From there I went directly to some music professionals, friends that I had made on the local scene through my own guitar playing. Remember?
Is by outright.
Meanwhile, Reece and his bandmates, a tight little three-piece, played all over deep Ellum. That's the really cool music district in Dallas for those who don't know. All this even though he was just 13. One of those professionals I reached out to had just opened a music studio. So we thought we had a producer for the EP all lined up. Didn't quite work out that way, but we kept pushing. Meanwhile, the guys rocked Trees, a music venue in Deep Ellum, one of the top ones in the district. Made famous in part for a sold-out show from Nirvana right after they broke. It was made famous because on this night, Kurt Cobain decided to clock a security guard with the butt end of his guitar during the performance. This rather large individual responded by punching Cobain so hard that he flew off the stage. A melee ensued, and this same large security guard punched out the windows of a taxicab as it attempted to whisk the three members of Nirvana away from the venue and back to their hotel room. On the night that Reece and his bandmates played there, they killed it. Absolutely killed it. And we were approached by a potential manager. She had connections, blah blah. First thing she did was hook us up with a local producer in studio who immediately panned the Golden Riff and several other songs that Reece had written. He apparently wanted to rewrite everything. More fees, music royalties, etc. We said no. A quick call to another friend made on the local scene, and we were hooked up with a third producer. This particular individual, his only demand was that we stay true and stand by our music. Basically, he said don't fall for the game. That official recording session produced a very cool single, with footage shot in the studio used for the music video. From there, better shows opening for national touring acts followed. That's really when the Rockstar was born, but it didn't change Reece at all, just the attention he was getting, at school and beyond. There was an acoustic show at the school he attended for the Halloween event, and it was bordering on off the rails. Almost like watching old black and white footage of the Beatles when they first came to the States. I'm not even kidding. Touring across Texas followed, including skipping over into New Orleans on a couple of weekend runs. Oklahoma, Arkansas. That's when Reece started high school at the prestigious Booker T. Washington High School for the Performing and Visual Arts. More songwriting, more Rockstar attention from classmates and beyond. And I worked on keeping him grounded, which really wasn't that hard. He had the right maturity and mindset for it all. Well, mostly. There was a trek to Missouri to record another EP with yet another producer, this one in possession of 2 gold records. an overnight drive after finishing the Storylines EP, and another single that was quite magical. We produced a cool music video for this one. Touring extended beyond just the adjacent states. Tennessee, New Mexico, California, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and all the way to New York. On and on, playing 23 states before he had even entered his senior year of high school. Now everybody wants the record deal, even once you understand that the math just doesn't add up in your favor. One LA-based writer who covered the music business for more than 30 years during its heyday was quoted as saying the basic record contract was structured specifically to, quote, screw over the artist. His words, not mine. We learned as much as we could while continuing to trudge through the process, mostly on our own. Members of the band booked the tours, including the venues at each stop and the band lineup, night after night. Graduation happened and acceptance to the only 3 schools that he applied for, and then a move to Denton and the University of North Texas with its nationally renowned College of Music. Yet it wasn't 2 months into that first term when he got the call. Record deal? Check. O. Weatherly asked Reece to be their lead guitarist, just as they were signing with Hopeless Records. Drop out of college? Yeah. Record deals don't come along that often. And despite the mindset in current culture, college and all of that debt isn't going anywhere. Springtime in LA to record their first full-length album followed. Along the way they had a couple of tours, one in the Midwest and one to the Northeast. They would also shoot the video for their first single from this full-length record. That song was titled Here Tonight. All of that was released the following summer. Yeah, the tour was already booked at that time for the fall. October and November, 55 days, hitting 40 cities, starting in Tallahassee and working all the way across to the west to SoCal, then all the way up the west coast to Seattle, zigzagging through the Midwest into Chicago, then across Ohio and into New York, and eventually Boston, then down the East Coast all the way to Fort Lauderdale, where the tour ended just before Thanksgiving. Good times for the boys. More riding, multiple gear endorsements, and more. How do you top all that? Well, apparently he's also a Jedi. Next up on this channel, we'll jump back into the run side of things. We'll talk about how that race turned out. See if an advanced age runner can actually spin them. Something I could do pretty well in my younger days. Can I still hammer a decent 5K? Well, let's see. That covers the run category. Here's a snapshot of videos to come in the right, and then eventually also the riff categories. On the right side, let's start to unwind the tale that is known as 2323 AD, with a deeper dive into who resides in this particular different world, as I call it. There are some cool characters in this story, if I do say so myself. Then we'll get back into the riff side of things. We'll see if we can lock down Reece Alan for a news-style interview, see what he's willing to reveal about the plans ahead. Let's get it all in his own words. We'll also discuss some great song run-throughs that we have coming. I'll grab my guitar and join in with the young lad as we lay down some tracks that provide a unique perspective into some of our favorite songs. Should be fun. Once again, be sure to hit subscribe and then the bell notification. That will keep you up to date on all the videos that we have coming. Be sure to give us a like on this video, as it will really help us to build this channel. Come along on this journey with us. And, as always, thanks for watching. A happy and a healthy life. That's what we're about at Run, Write, Riff. These are my personal passions. Be sure to leave a comment about your passions. Let's engage and share life.